In this Finding and Appreciating Wonders and Wonderments video episode, we are bringing you another chapter, or shall we say installment, of our journey and adventure to get our tiny house on wheels much closer to becoming our home. A lot of thought, planning, time, money, and effort has gone into getting our new custom wooden RV tiny house on wheels this far, and we are excited to share our experiences with you. Here is a very quick recap of our tiny house journey up to this point. We have been tiny house enthusiasts for years. We finally decided this was the time to become full-time tiny house dwellers and slow travel North America. We had our custom RV tiny house built by a RVIA certified builder, and they finished the house just enough to be certifiably complete. That is all we wanted them to do, because the finishing work that we wanted for our house was a lot more custom and tedious than what they do or we could afford. Our house came to us with all raw wood and a lot of open spaces. It's been up to us to do it ourselves to turn this raw house into our healthy, non-toxic home. So far, we have done a whole lot of sanding, and we have given the exterior of the house 3 coats of a protective tung oil finish and the interior 5 coats of tung oil. That gets us to this installment of our wonder-filled journey to become tiny house dwellers and nomads. Remember those open spaces I mentioned? Well, those open spaces are going to start getting filled. A traveling tiny house with a bunch of open spaces is not going to do us much good. So we are designing, creating, and building custom stairs, cupboard systems, storage systems, benches, railings, planter boxes, and more. Before we jump into that, let us share a bit about who we are.
There's our house!
Hello, friends. We are 4 life adventure buddies, best friends, mother and daughter, and 2 wonder pups on a journey to find, appreciate, and share daily wonders and joys with the world. We are transitioning from a lifestyle based in a regular house into a traveling tiny house RV. Everything in our life is changing right now, from where and how we are going to live to how we earn a living while pursuing our heart and soul dreams. While we certainly have a lot to do and a lot to figure out right now, we are adventurers, filmmakers, artists, dancers, teachers, and writers on a mission to share wonders with the world and with you. Join us as we find wonder amidst our busy days. With so much to do, there is still wonder and joy to be found.
We are full-time professional artists, and our new art studio is going to be in our tiny house. That means we have to create a special cupboard to hold all of our art materials and tools. Making plans for the art cupboard. We hired a carpenter friend to help us create the wood pieces that we had designed for our cupboard. Since we have already sanded the whole interior of our tiny house, sanding these shelving and cupboard pieces is more or less another walk in the park. No matter how much wood we sand throughout this whole long wood finishing process, we constantly find ourselves saying, "Wow! Isn't it amazing what happens when effort, sandpaper, wood, and love is all combined to create something intentional and meaningful?" And all the time and effort poured into sanding this wood inspires in us wonder and gratitude for the trees in which these wood boards came from. After all the sanding comes the all-natural tung oil and citrus oil, a fulfilling, messy, and wonder-filled process for sure.
Oh, it's so cool. Putting the oil on the wood is like bringing out the color of the wood. Something really spectacular about that. It's like after all of the hours that go into sanding, it's like this is the fun, super fun part, getting to see what the wood is gonna do. That's a wonderment. Well, after spending the morning sanding all of the wood for our cabinets, we just got our first 2 coats of tung oil put on this afternoon. Oops. Time for dinner.
Takes a while, but it looks really good when you get the oil on.
Yeah, and it feels really good to be getting to finally get to see how the wood's gonna look as it's getting finished.
Brings out the color and the grain.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Coat number 3. Round 4. Coat number 5. Wonderment!
5 coats, several days, and many hours later, we have many wood pieces that are going to dry and cure for about a month before we will actually install them in our tiny house.
We have several very dear houseplants and bonsai trees that will be joining us for life in a traveling tiny house, which means we have to create a safe, functional, yet beautiful place for our plants to be when our house is stationary and when our house is moving. So our carpenter friend just dropped off this plant box, which will be the home for many of our most special house plants. So I'm going to sand up a few more edges and then get ready to go tung oil it. It's gonna be beautiful. So it's like one of the coldest days of the autumn so far. And the wind is coming out of the northeast. It's super cold. But I gotta get these pieces sanded so I can start tung oiling. But I can't do it inside because I don't want to add any sawdust to the house. And there's nowhere else to be right now. So it's on with the scarf and the coat and come outside in the beautiful, crisp autumn air and get these pieces sanded, so that I can then go tung oil. It's a crispy and chilly November day in the Pacific Northwest, and I was getting cold. So I got inspired to bust a few moves to find some wonder and get some internal body warmth created. I just gave the first 2 coats of tung oil to our beautiful plant box, and it's incredible to see the color just come alive. This is holly. It's actually from a holly tree from the block that we just moved away from in Fairhaven. So it's kind of special that our new tiny house will have a piece of holly tree that had called our neighborhood home. So that's really special. And then there's also maple. And it turned out a beautiful, gorgeous color. It is literally like a great, great wonderment to put tung oil on wood and see what color happens and see the grain come alive. Wonderment! Wonderment! Isn't that gorgeous? So beautiful. And this is going to go up there. Wonderment!
Our incredible friend and woodworker turned our very custom stair design on paper into actual and very beautiful wooden stairs. As with all of these custom-made wood pieces going into our house, it is amazing how special and meaningful something becomes when you truly appreciate the time, care, and attention to detail that goes into making it. Woodwork and craftsmanship is an art, and what can be created are wonderments.
Next came yet another familiar round of sanding on the wood pieces that are to become our custom storage and closet system in the sleeping loft. With just days to go before needing to install these custom wood creations in our house, we decided to go with a walnut oil and carnauba wax finish for this system. Its faster dry time will be helpful, and it will not be in a high-use area of our house.
Wow.
Wow! Look at that! Look at that, isn't that pretty? It's like a river runs through it. The wonder of seeing the wood grain pop when finish is applied to the wood never ceases to amaze us. Our woodworking friend found us a beautiful piece of walnut for our bench in the bathroom. Once again, the walnut oil and wax made for a wonderful wood finish, celebrating the grain and the color in the walnut wood. It's so amazing how the color just comes out as we put the wax and oil on it. It's a wonderment. The wood has incredible grain and color without the oil and wax, though the wood, oil, and wax finish lets the wood really shine in all its glory. The same could be said about daily life. Incredible wonders are happening all around us every day, though when we focus on appreciating those simple and grand wonders, the wonders really begin to shine, inspiring great joy. Wonderment!
We are about to begin the next phase of our tiny house build, and that is bringing in the specialty items like the art cabinet for all of our art supplies, our special plant boxes,
closet pieces, a bathroom bench, several pieces that we've been working on designing and creating with a couple of our carpenter friends. We're going to start bringing them into the house
and getting them installed, and it's so exciting to see the house coming together
to become the house that we've been working on creating for all this time.
Each little space is important, and so each of these specialty designs are going to help us really utilize that space. Our carpenter friend who helped us make our special cupboards, planter boxes, and closet systems came to help us install the pieces in our house. After months of design work and tons of hours of work, the highly anticipated couple of days dedicated to installing these custom pieces has finally come. Even after all the tough work we have done to get to this point, it is tough to put into words how excited we are to actually see our tiny house starting to look more like our home.
Above that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Wow.
Boy, that
That's beautiful.
yeah.
Installing these custom wood pieces was no tiny job either. Installing big things in a tiny house was like a game of life-size sliding block puzzle. We had to think smart about order, angles, and safety in order to achieve the final desired outcome. In our case, the transformation of a construction site into a home.
If you have a chore to do, why not make it fun? It is amazing how much wonderment a bit of playfulness can inspire. This is our very specially designed art cupboard system because we're artists and we're going to be traveling on the road. So we have to bring as much of our special materials and tools with us that we can. So we designed this incredible system, and with the help of our friend Pete, he helped create this system for us. So we have these shelves which are adjustable on the peg system, and they're fairly deep, and we'll be able to have our different things on different shelves, and we've actually already planned out what's going on what shelf in what box or container. So that's pretty exciting. And then we have this shelf right here will actually be for our printer, and it rolls out. So that'll be pretty cool. And then for when we go traveling, and so when we're on the road, we'll need a special way to contain the items so they don't fall out and create a mess when we're driving. So we have panels that will be going in. They go up in the top slot and they go down into the slot, and each cavity has its own door, and then we're going to have a special strapping mechanism to keep the doors in while we travel. So we'll be able to go up and down and take off and stop, and all the special things inside will be kept in the cupboards. And then when we get somewhere and want to be able to get into our belongings, we can just take the door panels off and store them along the side of our cupboard. So this is really good because we need this space. And so this will be like control central station for all of our art and creating.
We're going to bring our art boxes out and finally put them in their new home. I'm thrilled. It's move-in day for the art supplies. Yay!
It feels wonderful to have built a special place for our art materials. I'm so excited. All right, it's ready for the plants.
And first into the house is our very special ficus tree. I've had this ficus tree for over 20 years. It's been with me through thick and through thin. Now it's going to be the first inhabitant of our tiny house. Oh, beautiful! When you go tiny, you know that you can't take as much, you can't have as much in your house as you would when you have a larger house. So you really have to think about what are those special items that you're going to take with you in your tiny house. And the plants for us has been, from the very beginning, very important. So some of our very special plants, some that we've had for many, many years, others that have come into our life in special ways, we wanted to give them a very special home in our traveling tiny house.
What a wonderment! The Christmas cactus decided to bloom for its homecoming. Wonderment! Beautiful.
Since our tiny trees and our plants bring us so much wonder, we just knew that they had to be part of our traveling tiny house. Trees are very important in our life, and these little miniature trees are so special. They remind us of the forests that we love. It's like having a little mini forest.
After months of working on our tiny house every day, it's so exciting to see it finally coming together, to be the home that we've been dreaming of. This whole experience has been such a journey, and finding the wonders along the way has been really meaningful and energizing, because sometimes the days have run together of this thing to do and this thing to do, and it doesn't all get done, so you do the same thing the next day and the next day. And now we're heading into a new phase. We're going to start bringing our special things and our special plants into the house, and oh my goodness, I am beyond thrilled. It's so exciting to see, and it's like, yes, this is all very good, very good. Let's just say I feel great wonder, because this whole experience has been pretty epic, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I didn't think it was going to take this long or all go quite the way it did. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. And for that, I'm so very thankful. And it's pretty fun getting it to share it with you. So up in our sleeping loft, we just got our beautiful closet, the main part of our closet put in. The front edge is it's live edge walnut, and it's so beautiful. So I love the color, and it's pretty fun kind of having that dark contrast to all the pine, as well as getting to have an organic edge with the wood. A lot of thought has gone into designing our closet space, because everything in a tiny house has to be really thought out. No space can be taken for granted. So I'll keep showing you this as it keeps developing. But this area is looking good.
Turning this construction site into a home.
Well, it's another late evening where we're working on projects for our tiny house. Right now, we are so busy getting the last several things that we can installed in the tiny house, starting to put our first bit of special belongings in the house, and we are so excited. We're exhausted because the list is long and there is a lot to be done, but a major step is about to happen. And I am so excited. So, but yet all at the same time. Well, I better get back to Sandra. Well, I've gotten this plant box all sanded up. And now I'm going to go put some wax and oil on it, because it'll be going in the house tomorrow. Because the day after that, we're going to be moving our tiny house for the very first time. And I am so excited. I am filled with the joy of anticipation for the fact that we're about to be able to move into our tiny house. And all of this work and love we've been pouring into it is about to really bloom into something that will be our special and meaningful home, our place of shelter and inspiration. So I'm so excited, and I'm glad you joined us, because sharing our journey with you is so meaningful. You want to see me put some wax on this piece of wood? I'll show you. Come on. Here goes the exciting moment that I enjoy most about finishing woodwork. I love seeing the color come out of the wood. Oh my gosh! That's a Wonderment! Wow. I don't think I'll ever get tired of seeing wood grain come alive with some oil and wax. Well, while I finish this, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and write us a comment, share with us, I don't know, what you think about the process and what we're doing. We so enjoy hearing from you. It's really meaningful reading your comments. And so don't be shy, write us a comment. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also become a C-Tree Wonder member through Patreon. And be sure to tune in next time, because in our next video, we will be moving our tiny house for the very first time. You won't want to miss that. So if you're new to our channel, subscribe, ring the notification bell because you're not going to want to miss it. We are on a journey to find and share wonder and joy and beauty with the world as we go through our life adventures. And right now, our life adventure is figuring out how to live in a tiny house and move a tiny house. And we're sharing that journey with you. So join us, come along, share your reasons for joy and wonder with us. It's a sweet joy and celebration to be able to have a family, an online family, to be able to share wonder with the world. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Wonderment!